Hello students, welcome back to Algebra 2. Today we're starting off chapter 3 with a big review of quadratic functions from Algebra 1. So we have to solve quadratic functions in a number of different ways. The first method that we have is solving by graphing. This tends to be the quickest, most straightforward way to do it. The way we do this is I've got this equation right here. X squared minus x minus 6 is equal to 0. The way that I am going to solve that is by turning it into a system of equations. So what I'm going to do is write an equation for the left side and then a second equation for the right side. This is very simple. All I'm going to do is stick a y equals in front of it. And then I'm going to take the second one and I'm going to put a y equals in front of that. Now, the thing that you need to remember here is this y right here, we just made it up. It doesn't exist in our equation. So that means when we get our solution by graphing, we're not paying attention to the y values, we're only paying attention to the x values that were there initially. So what we want to see is if I graph these two equations, what are the x values where they cross? This is simple enough. We're just going to jump over to Desmos. I'm going to move this to half screen so I can see both of them. And I'm going to graph the equation y equals x squared minus x minus 6. And then I'm going to graph another line, y equals 0. And then I'm just going to look at where they cross. They cross at -2, 0 and +3, 0. Now, like I said, that y doesn't exist. We just made it up. So that means the answer is the x's. So we're going to say x equals -2 or x equals 3. And then the proper way to say that there's a single variable with multiple answers is x equals squiggly bracket -2 +3. And we're done with that one. Now let's move over to the other one. We can do the same thing here. Y is equal to -2x squared minus 2, and then again, y equals 4x. So I'm going to go back to Desmos over here, and I'm going to graph those. Y equals -2x squared minus 2, and y equals 4x. And I'm going to look for where they cross, and I see that this one only crosses one time at -1, -4. But again, we don't pay attention to the y value. So that means the answer for this one is x is equal to -1. Just one answer for this one. Now, other people will tell you that you need to solve this by setting it equal to 0, putting it into standard form first, and that's fine. I just want to demonstrate that real quick to show that it does the same thing. -2x squared minus 2 equals 4x, and then I would subtract 4x on both sides. -2x squared minus 4x minus 2 is equal to 0. So that means that I would do these two equations. Y is equal to -2x squared minus 4x minus 2, and y equals 0. It would be these two equations. Now those two are going to look very different when I graph them, but -2x squared minus 4x minus 2, and then y equals 0. So I ended up graphing two different lines, but you see in the end, I still get that they cross at -1. So my answer here would be x equals -1, and that's the same as if I had left them as the original equations. So that is how we solve by graphing.